Welcome back to Oak Bridge Farm, episode 15. Precision farming has been released. I have it activated right now. There's a menu up here. You got your seed rate, soil types, pH, nitrogen, and our yield. Of course, this should help us save money and seed and lime and also, of course, fertilizer. So I'm not completely sure. I was trying to get this, our current one that we're trying to plant up here with green beans, the one we made, our field. We can't access the field information for that with precision farming. You click on the outside of the map and there's nothing to bring up the the purchase menu for that. I suppose you could maybe rent soil data none found. You could maybe rent the soil sampler and maybe that would work. I think it's worth a shot to see if it will work. We could actually just buy the one here for our 33. It would save some time. Purchase. We can have enough money. Maybe if we're gonna have to rent the sampler, maybe we could just use that. Let's where's our small tractor? Let's rent the soil sampler and we'll see if we're able to do that field up there. I hope that it works because I mean that'd be nice, but we obviously can't purchase the information. Let's take a look in the store and see. Also, there was some new tractors released. Take a look at that real quick. Yeah, the Farmall C. I was hoping they would do this one because my dad has a tractor just like this, so it's cool to see it in game. I've driven it many times, and here it is. He actually has 75, so it doesn't go that low, but yeah, it's cool to see it in the game. It's basically the same look, more or less. We're going to need the oil information. So is that under miscellaneous? I suppose we could go just down to the... No, can't do DLC because it's... Oh, here it is. Yeah. So we should be able to click in here. Here we go. So yeah, soil sampler. Let's give this a shot. We'll, how much is it going to cost to lease it? Yeah, we know we don't have enough money. We're trying to see how much it costs. 17,000 to buy. This is going to be spendy. Let's take out a loan. Hopefully I don't need more than 5,000. Lease. Yeah, 800. Not bad at all. We'll get these, hopefully we'll be able to get these taken. And then we'll figure out what we got to work with. Again, in the middle of a planting session. Wanted to see where we were at. A viewer has also suggested that we do some logging. Well, I mean, we obviously can't go crazy or anything, but we do have that sawmill, so we should probably take advantage of that and get some trees cut. We could rent it. Well, you have to look at the prices of the winches. Depending on that, we could maybe buy it. That's something we could do off and on. But obviously, we don't own a whole lot of woods. But we could just do a little here and there. Obviously, I don't want to take away some of the tree areas, like down by the shop. There's a few trees we could do down there. There's a whole actually forest, but I think it would take away from the look if we do it. But again, it's just a little bit that we could do to throw us over the top on our, well, paying back our loan. Still got a lot to do on that. But it would be nice to, since we have that production, to take advantage of it. Only makes sense to. But today we're going to be basically more focused on the precision farming and getting our field taken care of. Here we are. We got the soil sampler. I didn't really want to do a whole lot of that on this playthrough, but I think the next series I will definitely want to use the soil sampler for sure. We should be able to... We got everything we need here, I think. So let's run down to that upper field. We could probably take the back way. Let's see here. I mean, it's actually probably farther. We're probably better off just taking our regular route, going this way. We'll get there. Oh yeah, the tram lines have been added to for the precision farming. So now, if we look here, this is just a regular somebody else's field, and they have the well, tram lines, I guess is what they're called, but so you don't run down the crop, where they would spray and all that, whatever you set it for. I think this is going to have mixed feelings with people. I think there's going to be people that are not going to like that look on farms that are planted. So they're probably going to make some kind of a toggle for it. If I really had to guess, it doesn't, well, I guess, bother me a whole lot. It kind of looks more realistic, but some people are going to get probably weirded out by that, but I think it looks fine. It looks like everything's being used. That's what it's here. We're a used farm. You want stuff to look like it's being used, of course. Here's another spot right here. You can see the tram lines in the distance. That upper field, it's all dirt. I don't think they look terrible, but I think if they were, you know, not so wide, maybe more like fitted to your tires, so it's a little more precise. Alright, let's get this unfolded. We can see where the sample area is. Pretty decent radius. That's nice. It won't take us a whole lot. Let's see how good this will work. So we need to take sample B. I think that this would work fine. Alright, that worked. Then we'll just go down. I think, well, we'll send them in right away to this field when we're done. But I think since we did this, we might as well do it for our other two fields too, I suppose. Again, I didn't know if Oxygen David, the map maker, would have to like implement this, but I guess there's like a default soil map for every, well, it just underlays the whole map, and they can change it if they want. And in, and then, yeah. Well, this should work. And another good thing about, well, you'll see it when we plant. We'll be able to see everything on our mini map, our fertilizer. We don't have to constantly like zoom out or look back at the other page. I also think Giants added some performance improvements to the game. Obviously, I can't really tell because my computer's pretty beefy. I'll be able to tell when I play on my Mac. But maybe they fixed the kind of like the pop-in of the rows and the deformation. Maybe they fixed that too. Seems like it's holding better. But I guess time will tell. We are at 11 samples. Maybe one or two more. We'll close it out here. I guess it kind of makes use of the soil sampler if you're like can't buy the obviously if it's not available for this area, you'd have to actually manually do it instead of buying it. Because that's what I was just gonna do, is buy them, but it's fine. It doesn't actually take too long. It's just it's a little tedious, but at least the radius is decent on it. And like I said, since we rented it, we might as well go back and do the home area too. Maybe I have to do two more yet here. Some of these goofy spots trying to get the sample. And it should last like, you have to do it every so often, but it should be a few harvests before you have to do it again. Alright, last one. That's what, 15 there? So now we'll see if this works. We have to send these in. So we got to send in for analysis. There we go. Should see the soil sample taken. Should take a moment. And it should. There we go. So soil samples analyzed. $750 it costed us. There we go. We got silty clay and then loam, which I think depending on what you do, loam is like the best. Sandy loam. I guess crops require different things. It if we really wanted to get technical, we could go to the help page and really figure out what we should and shouldn't plant, but I don't think I'm going to get that crazy. Okay, so we got a pH here, so that we should just be able to hop out too and see everything. So our pH value is okay, which is the lime. It should be more close to 6.7. And then our nitrogen is okay. It was targeting yeah, because we needed 130 for the green beans. And we're at 170, so we're plenty good there. But now we should be able to come back up and plant with our seeder. It'll obviously do the variable seed rate, so it won't use what it doesn't need, and obviously the fertilizer, it'll just use what it needs too, so we'll save on that. So exciting because we can finally, you know, penny pinch a little bit here, get ahead. Like I said, we'll go ahead and get our other field sampled. I think we're kind of like, I mean, we could always do another fertilization. Can we make it all the way over there? Probably wouldn't cost us that much just to buy the soil information. But since we have the sampler, let's get on and get this taken care of. Trying to see if we can get this in one go here. Just a little sliver on each side. I suppose it's not really good enough. We got the majority of it. We'll send these in. How much do we do? 16, yeah, a lot more. So it should be soil sample taken. Okay, so we'll send these in. Guess that should be it for the soil sampling. Give it a moment. We'll see what we got to work with. $800 for those analysis. So yeah, we got some loamy sand, sandy loam, and a little bit of clay here too. So a little bit of everything on our home farm. Our pH or nitrogen. But let's take a look. It's easier to see in this side menu. Yeah, so we were trying to target 6.5, so we're decent. And then nitrogen is actually perfect for our spinach. Down here, same as well. We actually didn't even need any nitrogen for the peas. So right there, you know, you're saving. We could easily, if we're going to do peas, you know, you don't have to worry about putting down any, because they produce their own. What else does that? Their crop that does that. You don't need any nitrogen. It is soybeans. They don't need them either. So that's like, you do that, it's another way of thinking, well, we don't need to put any. It'd save a lot there. Yeah, so we should have some decent yield potential here. 98, 100. Over here a little bit, well, about the same. Okay, so let's return our sampler. We don't need this anymore. Switch mode. This is a mod also for the garage. Let's see here, return. That puts up another section here. I recommend it. I should do a video about these like mods that are like subtle, but they really help the gameplay. Because I got a bunch that I can think of, but they're only adding more good ones yet too. But yeah, So like on 22, you had your owned items, and you obviously could switch it to rented. But everything right here that you can see without having to hunt it down in the well, it's in the finances menu. It's kind of harder to find. I like to see the pictures. That makes it a little bit easier. Anyway, side issue. We got to get our rest of our seeding done on our green beans on the upper field. We did run out of seed on the previous episode, so we came back down to get it topped up. Let's get this hooked back up, and then we can let it auto dump when it needs it. Perfect. Yeah, remember, we do have to unfold the seeder in order to fill it up. It's kind of weird that it's that way, but it is. Time is actually getting away from us, so yeah, we gotta get moving here. 5 o'clock already. And we may have to open the cover too, I think. Yeah, that don't work, so we gotta open these up. There we go. Still a little bit on the pallet yet. But I don't think we're going to worry about the tram lines, because they're not defined here. And I think we have to do that. In a separate menu. Oh, here we go. No, application. Detect automatic application rate. That's what we got, right? No value detected. Let's, do we have to turn that on? Yeah. I think I looked at that. And then the tram lines, we have to go into the menu, I believe. But I don't think we're going to worry about it for this field here. If we were going to spray, then that's something that we would look at. Precision farming. No, I'm not seeing it here either. Do we? You have to like click on the field, don't you? Yeah. And that's where you can do tram lines. And then set your width. But like we divided this field too. I don't even know how that would even work. Economic analysis. We'll break down there. Interesting stuff. I think at first glance it looks more scary than it actually is. Okay, so we should be able to. So now it should not use so much seed. Got our nitrogen mineral application at a variable seed rate. Yeah, so we're only going at, look at that. Definitely giving us a low one we don't have to worry about. So now here's my question. So that we're trying to target, but the nitrogen map in the bottom corner looks goofy. That's because we're already good. We're at 105. Yeah, because we only need the, wait a minute. We should be seeing some nitrogen change, but I guess if it's not adding any, adding very little. Okay, I did some more reading on the thing, and then we actually had to activate the application rate too for the nitrogen. So it's a good thing I seen that right away. Now we can see that it's making a difference. I think in 22 it was automatically on, unless it was, I did turn it on and then it stayed, but I don't remember having to activate it. That's something you gotta pay attention to. We had to activate the variable seed rate and the fertilizer. Okay, so let's get off and get this field finished up.
a blade. Lands a canvas painted in shades. Golden crops sway in the breeze, bending low on aching knees. Beneath the sun, the labor calls, echoes of struggle through these walls. Ancient rites of this old land, scythe and grip and dirt in hand. Fields of gold and dreams untold, blood and toil in this endless fold. Hear the cries from dawn till night. Harvest time in a world of fight. Beneath the stars, the silence speaks. Every furrow, every peak. Story of the working man, written in the earth in strands. Whispers of the wind's old song. Harvest time, we can't be wrong.
Starting to wonder if we maybe went through more seed, because if we basically almost did like half the field and then we had to fill up. And then I had to fill up again here like right away. So it just seems like we used a lot more seed this other time through. Of course we are saving on fertilizer though. That definitely, we're not even using a whole lot. That is the big advantage, because that obviously costs a lot more money. Like we got done before dusk here. Or complete darkness anyway. I guess it's kind of dusk right now, depending on how you define it. And we are done. Let's take a look at the ground here. So we got, so it says pH value bad. Okay, that's obviously the lime. We limed it beforehand, so it's, I guess that just shows you right there that's, yeah, because they want 7 and we're at 6.1. H. Yeah, it's something we'll probably have to lime our fields again before. Really bad over there. That's bad over here too. Okay, well anywho, we'll go ahead and get back to the farm. We'll let this grow. Is it gonna... I don't think weeds are gonna come up. We'll definitely check that when we advance. And if that's good, we should really be on kind of cruise control with the fields here. We could probably maybe look into doing some logging. Get a little foggy out too. I hate to speak too soon, but it does look like the tire tracks are less glitchy. It's awesome. We were definitely having trouble with that before. There's a little bit there, I guess, when you turn, but I think it's better than it was. Okay, let's advance and then we'll see what the fields look like. Alright, we are in May. How are the fields looking? This one ain't gonna tell us our yield. I guess that's after we pick. We had a high seed rate up here. That could have did it for us. The silty clay caused that. Let's just jump around here and check. Yeah, so I don't see any weeds, which makes sense that there wouldn't be because we just plowed this field. When you plow, you don't get weeds. That's the advantage. pH is bad, even though we put lime down before, but again, we didn't have precision farming installed, so makes quite a bit of sense. How do these other two look? Yeah, there's some bad spots here too. We'll definitely have to lime again, and then it should be correct after. It feels like it did change on us though, didn't it? Does it not? I thought it was good, and now all of a sudden it's saying bad. And we didn't even do anything to this. Pigs are looking good. Chickens are looking excellent as well. We got no sales right now. So we are at the point where we should think about renting a winch. How much do those cost anyway? Yeah, there's one for sale for 13, but that's overkill for what we need. Let's see, winches 8,500. Oh, this one was added too. Be cool to use a new one in the update, but that's definitely more expensive. Let's see. Let's go ahead and lease that. 433, not bad at all. And then we can take advantage of our sawmill production that was free with the outside of the map. I think we'll definitely use the bigger tractor for this. We could probably start. We're gonna have to buy a chainsaw as well. Let's see here. I have to change it up a little bit from what I usually. Let's go with the red one here. $1,000. Oofda. We could put up a shed for that too to get rid of it. We could actually, since we got to pick up the winch down at the sale area, we might as well do some of these trees right in here. Let's see, farmland. I don't know how close we can get where those are at on the line. You can't really tell from the above view. I think there could be a section over here we could hit too. Let's drive down there and see what we got to work with. And like I said, we'll just fill up our sawmill with a few here and there. We might as well make some money off of it, right? Looks like they got it put out and ready for us to grab here. And like I said, I think we'll try to grab some logs right around here. Try to grab a couple at a time. We could strip them down too with the chainsaw. And then we'll just connect them in and drag them on the road, I suppose. Let's see, the best way to get over. Let's go over a little bit farther. There's a road over here. So this is the recycling area, so I don't know, like, see any like uses for this. I was thinking of the other map we did before with the on 22. There was an awesome map. What was it called? New Lands or something like that? Or that was we did our actual survival. Fun gameplay. Brings back memories. But they had like a recycling little thing. They could pick up trash on the map and all that good stuff. Hey, let's see. I think we own this, right? Yeah, so technically we could like get these trees here too. I was kind of thinking, I don't want to like make it look too bad around here. Because I like the trees, it does give it personality. So if we thin it out too much, it might look kind of goofy. There obviously isn't a spot over here that it was showing on the map. All blank. Kind of weird having the... I feel like Oxygen David didn't really do a good job on the outside of the map like he did last time. Could be wrong, but it does look like last time he had a little bit better detail. Nonetheless, it will probably end up having to... Let's see... Yeah, there's our chainsaw. We'll probably end up having to get the brush cleared up at some point too. We could rent the chipper, but we'll wait until like a long time before we do that. See, I'm trying to find ones that don't have so many branches either, but it's going to be... I think it's going to be difficult. I mean, we could take this in like 2 logs. I did get the higher horsepower tractor with, so we could pull a lot. Let's try this. See how this goes. Again, we're not going to try to see whichever way we cut it, it's going to knock down. So, I want to lay it down, otherwise we can't get at it. Just go towards the road, I guess, or back this way. Here we go, timber. Ooh, that's a big tree. And we'll just take it, like I said, in a couple parts. At least. Or... let's get the bent side off. And we gotta delimb. How good this will work. Worked a lot better in 22, I think. There we go. I suppose we could hook the tractor and get some pulled out. There's ain't all clumped up together. Again, we are renting the winch, so we're just gonna probably fill up our production all the way, and then we'll just return this and maybe think about doing this again later. And maybe even purchase it. Let's just pull out the base here and get away from all that. Like I said, we can take two at a time. Be a little more realistic here, and we'll cut the branches off some of these. I do like the detail of the newer trees in 25 versus 22, but it's definitely a lot more trimming to do on these. Okay, so I think... How much does this weigh? I think we can... Is it transport? I guess it's up to 6 tons, I think. Can we pick these up? Here we go, here's a light one. Said we could take a couple, get this trimmed up a little bit better. Maybe. There. Yeah, we could grab that one too. I can actually probably only pull 2 at once, so I don't know if I just want to come back for this. Should probably just take the big one. Although we got it. We could probably hook on another one. And we got 2 there. There we go. We'll reel it in. Okay. So now we'll just drag it over there. And hopefully we don't get hung up. We trimmed quite a bit. This tree hopefully should fill... Well, actually, it's probably a big production. I was thinking of the smaller production I have in my own personal playthrough. It fills up pretty quick, but this bigger one will probably take quite a bit. We can do a few of these. We'll do a few more on the next episode as well, and then we'll have to return the winch, and then we'll just move on. One of those things, we own it, we might as well take advantage of it. Ooh, won't hit. Ooh, there's still some branches on there too. We got to get over farther. We're gonna get hung up, and then we're stuck, and we won't go anywhere. We're just gonna drag it across this field. It's a grass field, so I think the owner won't mind. There is a few trees over here as well. Actually, a viewer suggested to cut these down right by the production. We'll see how it looks. Like I said, I'd hate going too crazy with whacking stuff down. Then the map starts to lose personality, but... I mean, there's a few here. Maybe it wouldn't be that bad, but... I don't know. Okay, so they've got it fenced off. That's not a good idea why they did that. Okay, we should be able to deliver right here. There we go. Then I believe wood R. Oh, that's the selling. We'll pick up that one since it's light. And we'll see if we can just drop it over here. If not, we must have to sell it. Okay, that don't work. I don't see any other spot, so we'll go ahead and hit the sell button, I guess. I thought they're supposed to pop in there automatically. We hit R. Okay, it did work. It accepted it. 140,000 liters we could hold. That's a lot. Alright, let's run. We actually have to start up a production, so let's see what would be the best one to do. We're gonna get wood chips too. Wood chips, yeah, there's plenty of places to sell wood chips, so we could actually rent that chipper and then we'll sell those too and get some extra money for that when we decide to do cleanup, because we're gonna have brush laying all over. But we will start up this production. Let's see what's the best one to do. Probably gonna get more planks if we, yeah. Let's go with the small planks and then know that we can sell those somewhere, right? Yeah, there's a couple places. Actually, one place. Farmer's market. Nonetheless, we'll go with that. Let that run. Let's go grab a few more before we close out the episode. We could probably take the smaller ones and send them to the side, the ones that we can lift. And then we could, like, use a trailer on those or something. More so about using the winch for the bigger logs. But actually, one of these we couldn't pick up. Right? Yeah, that one's heavy. This one we can. We just set these to the side. We get all these branches off. We could maybe just take both of these. Yeah, this is definitely harder to delimb on 25 versus 22. 22 is pretty easy. You just cut it down, run straight up the tree. You could delimb it pretty quickly. This is not very easy. Sometimes I get the right spot, but it's definitely more of a task. Probably pull this out so we can see it a little bit better. We can take both of these without cutting any more. That would be great. Actually, this might not go too bad if we just grab... or just keep what we got here. Get rid of these limbs. It works better to work from the top and then work your way back. Like you have better luck. Kind of getting a hang of it. Takes a little bit of persuading, but we got her. Yeah. Oh, one more branch here. I guess if we don't get this one, it's not a big deal, but there we go. Yeah, we'll run both of these down. I think that's a good idea. The more we can keep together, the better. Oh, there's a little bit there. I just don't like when these get hung up on the side of the road. There we go. Perfect. Greater would be better. I mean, these are almost like small enough where you could just start cutting them up into small chunks and throw them on a wagon too. We could do that when we return the winch, and we'll just have a trailer. We have the chainsaw, we could just chop them up into liftable logs or liftable lengths. Although they get fat on the bottom, it's really hard. We're really at the money, and we could go like crazy with logging. We could plant, you know, some, what's the straight trees on here? Spruce? Just plant them in a line, and this would be a nice area because it's right by the sawmill, and you could just bring them there. But there is a nice logging area on the map over by our farm, kind of. Production area over there. It would be nice to run through there, maybe, if we had the funds. Rent a actual logging trimmer and go to town in there a little bit. But I don't know if we'll get to that or not. Hopefully we could squeeze through this fence. I just wish this fence was in here. 'Cause those productions are gonna, or it's gonna pop out pallets here too pretty soon, and then we won't be able to squeeze through there either. Okay. Do the last two here. And yeah, here they are. Okay. That is added. And it is processing. We got a little bit of planks started. Okay, so we will pick it up there on the next episode. We'll do some more logging since we have this winch rented. We'll obviously probably not going to fill up the production, but we will do a few more, get that going, and then I guess we'll probably get on to our harvests since those were all ready to go. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.